Hi, I'm Reed Holson. Thanks for joining us and watching Ask the Mayor on CityLink, where we sit down every month and have a conversation with what's going on in your city of Sioux Falls with Mayor Mike Huther. And if you'd like to send questions to the program, go to siouxfalls.org, click on the Mayor's office, find out what's going on in the Mayor's office, and send us your questions to Mayor Mike Huther. Welcome, Mayor.
Thanks, Reed. Good to be back. It's November, incredible weather, and things are going well.
Really is. And we have enough in the snow budget to cover the winter this year?
Well, and it's probably a great place to start in that, I think we're going to be just fine in terms of our budget for snow or our budget for city government. However, you're always cautious because one thing that, I've learned is that you don't control Mother Nature. You don't know how many inches of snow are coming. But right now, it's really been a blessing in terms of the good weather that we've had, the lack of snow, the lack of sleet. And so that helps our bottom line in a big way. So keep hoping for good weather, Sioux Falls. Keep hoping.
And we've got enough, obviously, for the end of the year, because there's two different budgets. There's this year's and next year, so we get dumped on. We could be behind.
Well, and again, folks, you have to understand, we only have limited resources that pays for government. And, we scrutinize it at the highest level. And we do get to start over again January 1 with some fresh dollars in terms of our budget. But again, we're kind of watching it like a hawk. Sales tax numbers, even though they're growing, as we've talked about in the past, are not growing at the level that we were hoping for. So we are tightening our belts. We started doing that as early as March of this year. And we're already talking about tightening our belts right away in 2017. I think the taxpayers want us to be frugal. They want us to be conservative, and they love piggy banks. They like those reserves, as do I, and we'll make sure that we do just that.
And it seems to be a story that's kind of creeping up nationwide as well, too, the concern for the economy.
It is. I read something probably daily in terms of what's going on in the Midwest, how our sales tax numbers are being impacted not only in Sioux Falls, but definitely all across South Dakota and really across the Midwest. And again, I can't say with exact figures what is causing it, but maybe just to generalize a little bit, we think the ag economy or the farm economy is a bit softer. The prices that farmers and ranchers are receiving for their products just isn't as good as it used to be. So that is important. We want that ag economy to be strong, because when it's strong, they spend their money in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and that's a big deal. Also, we are being impacted by internet sales. Things like, Amazon, for example, Amazon Prime. When anybody buys something online, our ability to collect those sales tax revenues is just not there. So that is impacting our revenues, and we're seeing internet sales increasing 15% every single year. And so again, that's impacting not only Sioux Falls, but all of South Dakota. And then, yes, this election that we just went through, it definitely had an impact. It does. When people are a bit anxious, and I must say, there were some folks around the country that were a bit anxious with the election. It doesn't help in terms of adding safety and security to the economy, and so people pull back a little bit in terms of their spending habits.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a fun and exciting 4 to 6 weeks for you recently with the opening of the Midco Aquatic Center and many other things going on around the city. So you took a jump off that high diving board.
I did.
What was that like?
It was a wonderful memory for me. Something I'll never forget. I mean, this whole journey in terms of the Midco Aquatic Center and ultimately helping to get it built for the people of Sioux Falls and South Dakota, it has been wonderful. I mean, it's always a ton of work. You go through a lot of scrutiny. I probably lost a year or two off of my life, but it's all worth it. The fight, the battle, the debate, the dialogue, the due diligence, it's all worth it in the end. And already as a city, we're celebrating our new indoor pool. And the weather isn't even that bad yet. But we've got people that are, using the pool, which is great. But also, what's kind of fun, we've got people that are coming in just to check it out. just to get a tour. And so that's really, really fun. And yes, I got to jump off that high board and kind of celebrate in a unique way. And again, I just love this journey, and that's one that I won't forget. But Sioux Falls, again, it's your pool. It's your indoor aquatics facility. It's for everyone. And we want to make sure that people understand this is a public facility. I know that there were some concerns that, old mayor, you're just going to do it for the swim teams, and the rest of us are going to be left high and dry. Nothing can be farther from the truth. And in fact, what we're doing is we want to make sure that we serve the needs of the general public. And that's why we're not having any swim meets for quite some time, because we want to, dip our toe in the water a little bit, get a flavor for how things are going before we, open it up to people that want to hold a swim meet or two.
And those people that haven't seen it yet, there really is family space where you can have birthday parties and really have a good time as a group.
There's something there for everybody. There is. Whether you want to be in the water or out of the water, just like you talked about, Reed, with a birthday party or a meeting or something like that. Or, we do have snow coming. Oh, I'm sorry to even say that, but we do have snow coming. So that sledding hill there at Spellbrook Park, it's also going to help keep our indoor pool busy too, because people are going to come in for hot chocolate or to warm up, or maybe they'll go sledding for a couple of hours and then go to the locker room, put on their swimsuit, and then go swimming for a couple of hours. So it's really going to be the hot place to be in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And Reed, as we've talked about, it's going to be the hot place to live too. I mean, if you live around that area, your property values are already increasing, and it's a place where people want to live right now.
City Services Building,
yes.
This plan now, you bonded for this just recently. How did we do on interest rates?
We couldn't have done much better. Now Sioux Falls, it's not free, okay, and I respect that. We are going to borrow some money, but the interest rate that we got was even better than the interest rate that we received on the Denny Sanford Premier Center bonds. We're going to pay 3.09%, unheard of. And again, Sioux Falls is a place that investors want a piece of. We are so secure in terms of our finances. We do have good incomes or good revenues that come in to help pay for, things like our bonds. And they went like hotcakes, and we got a great interest rate. And again, that was one of the reasons, Reed, why we said, let's take care of this infrastructure need for our city now. While interest rates are low, while we did lock in the price tag to build it, and many other reasons. And again, it's just another example of why we said this is a good reason why, and it really turned out to be legitimate. I mean, 3% interest rate on borrowing. It's not free, but probably as close as we're going to get.
When a shovel's going into the ground?
Right now, I mean, you've got the architects and the contractors and the builders. They're working behind the scenes to try to figure all that out. Because again, we want to do it right. We want it to, keep this city going for at least 100 years. But I would expect that you're going to see shovels in the ground sometime this winter. I do. And times are different now. We can actually build homes, and we are building homes, build apartment complexes, build businesses, and yes, build admin buildings during the winter. And I would expect that we'll be making an announcement here sometime in December to let the people know kind of what that timeline is for our new services building. And Sioux Falls, I know that there was some debate on this one, just like there is on every one. But again, we don't take these decisions lightly, and we debated it for almost 2 years, did more due diligence on this topic than probably any other topic I've been involved in, and including the event center and the pool. And so it was worthy debate. But as the council agreed, it was time to move on. We're going to tackle this infrastructure need for our city, and we'll go tackle other issues and other opportunities for our city as well.
It's been 2 years for the Denny Sanford Premier Center. How did the second year turn out compared to the gangbusters of the first year?
Well, better.
Better.
And Sioux Falls, that doesn't happen. You always have this initial rush with any new event center, with any new big facility like that. And usually year 2 is lower, as kind of that thrill or that sheen dimmers a little bit. Not in Sioux Falls. Our second year is bigger than our first year. We were the 100th busiest event center in the world in year 1, and we are busier in year 2 than we were in year 1. Just phenomenal. I mean, there's still this hunger to get into the event center for all these events, and maybe to even prove that, Reed, we've had 24 sellouts in our first 2 years. And that was one of the topics that we talked about during the initial debate was, I heard all kinds of people say, oh, Mayor, you're never going to sell out a 12,000 seat event center. Folks, we've sold it out on an average of 1 time per month for the last 24 months. So it's going very, very well. Love what we're doing. And I'm even more excited for year 3 because Chris Semrau, Terry Torkelson, the folks at SMG, they're already ready to go to make year 3 an even bigger one.
Yeah, things have been happening all over town, but at the airport too. A lot of renovations going on there. Those are getting wrapped up, but we've had more of our neighbors flying out of Sioux Falls rather than choosing to do it elsewhere.
Reed, thanks for bringing that up. I think that is something that we almost take for granted now, and we shouldn't. About 6.5 years ago, when I was first elected, we had about 1 out of every 2 people, let's say it's you and I, Reed, we're both going to fly somewhere. Well, what was happening is that you were flying out of Sioux Falls, and I was choosing to fly out of another airport, whether it be Sioux City or Fargo or Minneapolis or Omaha. It's called a leakage rate. And that leakage rate was almost at 50%. Now we've got almost 85% of the people that want to fly out of Sioux Falls, or want to fly, they're flying out of Sioux Falls. 85%. So it's been a dramatic improvement. And thanks to the folks at the Airport Authority and Dan Letlier and all the good people out at the Sioux Falls Airport, they're making good things happen. More airfare, lower airfares, more options, bigger planes, better service, better amenities. All these great things that are making Sioux Falls the choice of the air traveler, whether they're flying out or whether they're flying in. They're choosing Sioux Falls, and I just love it.
We're getting lots of attention locally, but nationally too in our downtown, and that continues to really move along in a good pace.
Yeah, I downtown, and I don't know when it's going to end, and I don't think it's going to, because there's other great things that are happening, but our downtown is really rocking right now. The place to live, the place to work, and the place to play. We are putting up places to live in ways that you just can't imagine, and they're being filled that fast. But also, it's been a great place to work, and people are just thrilled to go down there on nights and on weekends too to spend their money and enjoy their time. But there's more to come. Whether it be the Levitt Pavilion, which will offer 50 free concerts a year. Whether it be the 10 acres of land that we're going to redevelop right in the heart of our downtown, or whether it be other dreamers and builders and investors that want to make good things happen in Sioux Falls, our downtown is really rocking and doing incredibly well.
All of us that are from here like to park right in front of the door and walk in, but there really are great opportunities to park downtown, especially on nights and weekends.
Reed, I think that's one of the biggest misperceptions about downtown, is that, Mayor, there's no place to park. It was interesting, Downtown Sioux Falls, their organization, they did something that I thought was really interesting. They took the Empire Mall parking lot, the outer limits of that Empire Mall parking lot, and then they laid that over the top of our downtown. And folks, here's the reality, is that we walk a lot farther when we're at the Empire Mall than we ever do when we're downtown. That's the reality. In fact, it's about half as far. But there's this perception that, I can't see that place where I'm going, so it must be that I'm walking farther, when in reality, no. You're not walking very far at all. There's plenty of parking that's available, either on the street or in the parking ramps. And then Sioux Falls, the amount that you pay in those meters is unbelievably cheap when you compare it to other parts of the Midwest or the country. And then, if you can imagine this, and this doesn't happen, I don't know of anywhere else, but at night and on the weekends, you park for free. You park for free in a booming downtown, in a vibrant downtown, in a downtown that offers so much. You're parking for free. So folks, don't use parking as the excuse on why you're not coming downtown, because again, we've solved that dilemma, and we've got more parking that's coming. So it'll be even more convenient for you to park and enjoy our beautiful downtown.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about roles of city government with the mayor. When we come back and ask the mayor.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jensen with Falls Community Health. South Dakota winter has come again, and that means a lot of people will get colds. A cold is an infection of your upper airways that can cause a runny nose, sneezing, and maybe a little sore throat. It's caused by a virus, and unfortunately, antibiotics don't do any good against viruses. The best thing for a cold is to get plenty of rest and take some over-the-counter decongestant medicine.
Welcome back to Ask the Mayor, having a conversation with Mayor Huether about roles of our city government and through the election time that we've just gone through here in the United States, the contentiousness of the elections, the bickering and the arguing, all of those types of things. We have our moments here in the city of Sioux Falls, but nothing on a national level. How do you compare that, the way government works here in the city and on a nationwide level?
I'm not immune to the things that you see on TV that happen nationwide or happen in other states or even in other communities. But Sioux Falls, we've really got a great thing going here in terms of our government. We're getting things done. We're collaborating. We're communicating. We are maintaining our financial strength at levels that are just unheard of in terms of comparing us with other cities. There are great things happening, but every now and then, sure, you're going to have some debate over a particular topic, such as the administration building that we just got done talking about. But I think we also have to realize that you don't have a good government if you're not having some debate every now and then. You should challenge each other. You should find common ground. You should compromise. And there should be good checks and balances along this governmental journey that I'm on, that you're on, Reed, and that all of us are on. And so, yeah, good things are happening when it comes to city government in Sioux Falls. And we all play our own roles. You've got the executive branch, of which I'm a part of, and then you've got the legislative branch, of which the council plays their role. And they're both very, very important. We kind of have a checks and balance on each other, but ultimately I think that we're working very, very well together. Now, sure, there's some things I think we could do to improve. Probably one that I would probably cautious us on as a community and as fellow leaders is I think that we can challenge each other without attacking each other. I think that that's really important. We can agree to disagree on certain topics and still move this city forward, still move our government forward. We can do that citywide, statewide, and nationally as well. And yeah, every now and then, you read some things, you see some things, or you hear some things that probably causes you pause and makes Sioux Falls think, oh, really, do we need to go there? We don't. We're a great community, getting things done, great government. You've got stewards that are sacrificing their time and talent on behalf of the citizens they serve, and let's celebrate it versus denigrating it.
One of the unique positions in our city government of service is the city attorney's role.
Yes.
Serving not only you, but serving the city council and serving, obviously, the rest of the city and advocating for citizens, too.
Reed, that was a topic that has come up recently in terms of, for example, Dave Fifley or the city attorney or even the attorney's office, in terms of who do they report to and who are they serving, and are they listening to the government as a whole or leaders as a whole? Sioux Falls, let me be very, very clear that folks like your city attorney, for example, or others like Tom Greco over at the city clerk's office, these are servants that are serving all of the citizens. They focus on the city, doing the right thing for the city as a whole. They're not serving, one master, for example, and that's been kind of perpetrated a little bit, and that's very unfair. It's unfair to them. It's unfair to the role, and it's just not appropriate. And so, one thing that these resources that we have in government, they're so critical, and they're also expensive. We maximize them at the highest level, including our attorneys team, and please be aware, they're serving all of us, and they're doing really a great, great job. And we're easily getting our money's worth. And yes, Reed, we're keeping them busy too.
That's right. Well, we're all grateful the election process is over with.
Yes.
But one thing that you've encouraged is run for office, serve, and please get out and vote as well too.
Yeah, and again, this election cycle is over, but there's more to come. And folks, if you find government interesting, if you find making an impact on your city is kind of grabs you in the heart and in your head a little bit, serve. We'd love it. Whether it be a city councilor, whether it be a mayor someday, serving on a citizen committee, county commission, state legislature, whatever it would be, serve. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I love it. So I urge you to give it a shot. It's not easy. You have to take some hits every now and then, but the rewards are dramatically greater than the sacrifices. And then yes, vote. Again, I don't understand why folks wouldn't take that 15 minutes to vote, but in most cases they don't. But it is important. It really is. We're celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the Denny Sanford Premier Center. 2 years. It was the largest voter turnout in our city's history. We had more people vote on that topic than any that we've ever done in our city's history. And I don't know if there's anybody who could argue that it hasn't had an impact on our city. I personally think it's had a dramatically positive impact, but that was critical. I mean, imagine our city without the Denny Sanford Premier Center. And again, people were motivated to vote for that. Well, they should be motivated to vote for their next mayor, their next president, or yes, their next school board member. I'd love them to do it.
Well, in closing, I know we got to make your pitch now because I know that you're always concerned about how good the city looks. So it's fall. There's leaves all over the place.
Yes.
Talk about street sweeping and what we're responsible for in getting rid of our leaves.
And I'll be brief because I've actually, had some folks as they watch this program, they'll say, Mayor, come on. Did you really have to say that? And I'm going to say yes. I love this town. And I think it's unbelievably beautiful. But I think that we could all do our part to make it even better. We've got, for example, we mow our lawns, we rake up our leaves, but then for some reason we leave all those leaves in the curb and in the gutter, or we won't clean that up. I don't understand it. because it's one of the first reflections that someone has on your home when they drive up there. As well as Sioux Falls, we're all very, very cheap when it comes to that taxpayer dollar. We want to save as many as we can. So why are we relying on government to do that for us? Yeah, we're going to come around and street sweep every now and then, but why do we have to rely on government to do it? It gets us out, good exercise. It makes our neighborhoods even better. So yeah, I would encourage you to do it, and the weather's phenomenal. And then yes, not only keep our neighborhoods clean, but let's keep them safe. Snow is coming, so folks, you got to shovel that sidewalk. You do. And you got to keep it free of ice. And again, remember, if it's that 6-year-old little girl, little boy who's walking to school, it's the elderly person who's just trying to get to the bus stop, or maybe it's someone who's in a wheelchair or who's visually impaired. They need that sidewalk to be safe and to be clear of ice. And that's where you come in, Sioux Falls. We need you. We need you. So proud of you. Let's do it. And you bet, Reed, I love a clean city. And it's beautiful right now.
Yep.
It is.
Fall is beautiful. Mayor, thanks for the conversation.
Thank you, Reed.
We appreciate it very much. And to Mayor's point, we've made it very easy for you to get rid of your leaves and your twigs and your droppings and even your pumpkins this year, because we actually have a pumpkin drop-off, right?
Yes.
Yes, we do. So take the candles out of it, all the sparkly things out, bring your pumpkins, we compost those, and the compost is free for you too. The leaf drop-off sites and the pumpkin drop-off site is still open through the 27th of November. We make it easy for you. You can check out those locations also on siouxfalls.org. Also sign up for snow alerts too, because we'll send those to your phone when the city's in a snow alert, because we'll get a snowfall here pretty quick as well. And don't forget too, the non-emergency number for the Sioux Falls Police Department. If you see something in your neighborhood you're concerned with and don't want to call 911, call 367-7000. Keep in touch with us on siouxfalls.org, and thank you for watching Ask the Mayor.